What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Living Free channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the new company that I have decided to drive for. And it's been a while since I've made a video of me actually trucking, and that's because I've been off of trucking for about 3 weeks. This last week, I've been going through orientation at the new company I'm at. And for those of you that don't know, that have never seen my channel, first of all, if you're clicking on this video and you're new to the channel, I really appreciate it. You clicking on the video, and I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. Stay tuned till the end of the video. Also, check out my Instagram. Go follow me there. I'll follow you back. The link to that is in the description below. And yeah, whenever you subscribe and you like the video, it does help push my videos out through the YouTube algorithm, so I really appreciate that. So anyway, let me get right into it though. For those of you that don't know too, if you're new, I used to work for Millis Transfer. That was the company that I worked for, and currently I'm working for a different company. I'm on my second load. This load I picked up in Kansas City, and I'm headed down to Madison, Alabama. And I deliver in Alabama, and then I pick up in Decatur, Alabama, which isn't that far from where I'm going currently. And I deliver up into Louisville, Kentucky. So it's a nice quick run, but hey, they're keeping me moving. And who is this company? Can you please get to the company that you're working for? Well, it's already in the title. It's already in the title. I'm going to put it in the title, the company that I'm working for. And that is Crete Carriers. Well, why did you go from Millis Transfer to Crete Carrier? Are they a better company than Millis? What is your reasoning behind that, basically? And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in this video. I'm going to probably make a few more videos about this because there's more to it than just like a quick 7 to 10 minute video. There really is. But I'll just go over a few of the main points and the main reasons why I chose to come here. Well, I have shared with the people that do follow my channel in the past, recent past. Basically, I left Millis because they do not go west. That's number one. They do not go west. They don't go all 48, to be specific. Crete Carriers goes all 48 states. And that was my criteria for going to a different company, for leaving Millis. If I was going to continue to do OTR, that company would have to do all 48 states. That's number one. Millis could not do that. Number two, my family and I, we plan on moving to Arizona. And as I just alluded to, Millis does not run west. They do not run west of I-35, except for they do go to Denver. Sometimes they go to Denver, but it's not very often. Crete Carriers actually has a terminal in Phoenix. I plan to move near Phoenix, and within the next couple of years, I would say, my family and I plan to move there. So this company can get me home no matter really where I move, but for sure they can get me home if I live in Arizona. And that was a huge criteria. I did not want to go to Heartland Express. That they do own Millis Transfer. They do go all 48. However, I think that Crete Carriers is a much better choice for me personally than Heartland Express. And I chose them because here's the trucking reasons why I chose Crete. The trucking reasons is, I already just said, they go all 48. That's number one. Number two, I used to be a trainer at Millis Transfer, and I made a pretty high rate per mile. However, to get that high rate per mile, I had to train to get it, to hit that bonus, right? Because if you were a trainer at Millis, you got an extra 12 cents a mile for training a student whenever they're on your truck. So that was nice. But me coming over here to Crete Carriers, I'm getting the exact same rate per mile solo as I was at Millis Transfer being a trainer. So basically, I do not have to go through the stress of training to get the exact same rate. So I can run solo, I can work on my own schedule, which I like about being solo, and still make the exact same rate per mile. Now, I will say the potential to make some bigger checks as a trainer is there, because if you do have a student, you can run extra miles every week with Millis as a trainer. You can do that. So that is something that I kind of am missing out on a little bit with coming to Crete, because honestly, you know, as a solo driver, like the way I run, I can run about 32 to 3,500 miles a week, because I do run hard. I can run those miles. I can kill it as a solo driver. But you know, whenever I had a student that had their CDL, like Pedro or Mike, and for those of you that have watched me for a while, y'all know that I trained them. Y'all have seen the videos that we made together, and we were hitting like 4,000 miles a week, 4,500 miles a week sometimes. So, you know, the amount of miles you were getting, and I got paid on all those miles. So I was killing it in a lot of those weeks. However, when you're a trainer, though, just understand, especially at Millis, I don't know how other companies do it, but at Millis, basically, if that student doesn't have their CDL, you have to be on duty. The trainer has to be on duty the entire time your student is on duty. So, and the thing is when they're new and you're on duty while they're on duty, they're a little bit slower at doing everything because they're inexperienced. They're just learning, right? And so you kind of lose some miles throughout the week. So really, by me going solo and getting the same rate as I would as a trainer at Millis, basically, by me going solo, you know, I can just consistently make the same amount of money, basically, as I would as a trainer at Millis, consistently. Now, some of the huge checks that I would get as a trainer at Millis, I'm probably not going to hit those with Crete, but I'm going to average that six-figure income. And if you go look at Crete's website for their OTR drivers, the top 50% of their drivers are making over $100,000 a year. And that will be me, because I am a hard runner. So, and if you were a trainer at Millis, you could make over 100 grand a year for sure. But I just kind of needed to, well, I just had a kid too. That's another thing. I just had my first kid, and whenever I was training, it was very hard for me to communicate with my wife and communicate with my son, especially when he gets older and he's more aware of what I'm saying to him and things like that, and realizing, hey, you know, my dad's on the road or whatever. I wanted to have that communication be easy, right, while I'm on the road. Now, by the time my son is walking, running, coherent, and aware of what's going on, I do not plan on being an over-the-road driver by that time. And that's why I push it so hard right now, and I'm going to be pushing it so hard for the next couple of years, because I'm trying to set it up to where I'm at least home on weekends, and I'm just there for my son's life. And that's why I'm pushing it so hard. But anyway, I also don't want to strain my wife and I's relationship. And whenever you're a trainer, you're focused on that student's well-being. You are. You're working non-stop. Every hour you're up, you're working. Unlike when you're solo, it's relaxed. All you got to do is do the job, right? You don't have to teach somebody else or accommodate somebody else all day long, right? And you have to do that as a trainer. I had a very good time as a trainer. I did. I made a lot of money with Pedro, with Mike. I made a lot of money. It was fun because I actually enjoyed being around them. But you don't always get people that you enjoy being around. That's just the way it is. It's the luck of the draw, basically. And I was able to train Mike because I met him through Pedro. He was in the exact same class as Pedro, right? But anyway, those were the only two students that I actually completed. But you know, it is what it is. It's over now. I'm over here at Crete, and for the most part, I mean, I've only done one load at like as I'm making this video, I've completed one load, and I will be completing this load that I'm on tomorrow morning and starting on my third load, right? And what I love about Crete is they pre-plan you before you even get to your delivery. They pre-plan you, and I love that. I love knowing what my day is going to be like the next day. I love just constantly like moving. I don't like to sit at all. And I chose the dry van division at Crete because I do not want to wait at a dock for 6 hours on the reefer side. So Crete has the Crete division is dry van freight. The Schaefer division is refrigerated freight, and then they have Hunt Transportation, which is flatbed. And I know dry van because with Millis, that is what we hauled. A lot of the customers that Crete runs for were actually Millis customers and Heartland customers. And so I'm used to doing dry van. I know the hustle of dry van. I've not done refrigerated, I've not done flatbed. So I like to stick to what I know and what I'm good at. And I like dry van because of, mainly it's drop and hook. So here at Crete, I mean, every load that I've been on both ends, it's been drop and hook so far. Like the next load I'm going to be picking up is drop and hook on both ends as well. So 3 loads in a row, drop and hook. It was basically about 50-50 at Millis. A lot of live unloads and live loads, and that slows you down. For those of you that are truck drivers, you know that drop and hook is sweet, especially when you're a company driver. And if loads are just hitting like that and you're not sitting and you're constantly moving that truck down the road, you're going to make 3,000 plus miles a week easily. And that's why I chose Crete too, because they have a larger customer base. And they go all 48 states. I was tired of being restricted at Millis on where I could go in the country. There was very little cross-country routes at Millis Transfer. You did get some 1,000+ mile loads, but it was very rare that you got it, to be honest with you. Well, here at Crete, they go all 48. You know you're going to get some 1,000, 1,500, even 2,000+ mile loads at Crete. And that is something that I really like. I also like, as I just mentioned, I like the fact that they have a ton of drop and hook. Not saying Millis didn't have drop and hook, they did, but they had, like I said, it was 50-50 really, and maybe even more live loads and live unloads than drop and hook, okay? And so that was a huge thing for me. I like the network that Crete has. They have terminals all over the country. I like that. So there's just many factors that played into me going to Crete. And also what sold me on coming over here. Well, I had talked to many drivers over here at Crete, and maybe I'll make a separate video about this, about like, how do you know if a company is a good company? Well, you talk to the drivers. Those are the people you want to talk to. The drivers will tell you the truth about the company. If you talk to 10 drivers, and 8 out of 10 of those drivers are saying, I love this company, I'm never going to leave this company. And that's what happened every time I talked to a Crete driver. They said, I love this company, I'm never going to leave this company. I've been here 8 years, and I'm retiring here. That let me know, man, this is going to be a great deal. Basically everything that I have read about them, heard about them, watched videos about them, so far has been true. The orientation process was very streamlined and easy. The only thing I'm getting adjusted to really is like the new ELD. They have PeopleNet, that's their ELD system, and I'm getting used to that. Millis had OmniTracks, so it's a little bit different, the ELD. It's taking some getting used to, but I'll figure it out. But I just love the pre-plan thing. I love just having loads hit back to back to back. Like, I was halfway through this load today, and they send me a message about a pre-plan, and basically at Crete, they send you a message while you're on a load, a pre-plan load, and you get to look at it and say, hey, do I have the hours to complete this load? If you do, you take it, man. You just keep on running, and they let you reject it too. If you're low on hours or you don't think you can make it in time or whatever, they'll let you reject it. But I just love that, man. I love constantly moving. I love the fact that I can go all 48. There's no restrictions. And also, I'm going to be able to live where I've always wanted to live in the country. And, Arizona is probably my favorite state in the entire country, honestly. And I've always wanted to live there for a really long time. And so that's what's awesome about this, is this company has allowed me to actually make my dream a reality. And I'm not going to be doing it for the next year and a half, 2 years, but at least I'm able to do it now. And I wanted to be with that company and set up and comfortable with But I'm not saying they're perfect, and I'm not talking bad about Millis at all. For those of you that have watched my channel and are at Millis, gosh, you made a great decision. I honestly, if I wasn't going to move in the future, I probably wouldn't have left Millis. So it's not a knock against them. I think Millis is a great company. I'm proud of the fact that I drove for them for 3.5 years. I got all my experience there. I made great money with Millis. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have had this opportunity. So Millis is a phenomenal company. Those of you that are there, I'm always going to represent Millis. If somebody asks me where I think they should start their trucking career, I think they should start at Millis, 100%. But Crete is the best, or was the best option for me personally, out of all the companies that I had looked at. They also have an owner-operator division where Millis does not have an owner-operator division, and I do like that. I like the fact that I have that option. I don't plan on doing that anytime soon, but I like the fact that they do have that side of their company where Millis does not have that. They're strictly company drivers. Here also, another reason, and as I just alluded to earlier about my son, just now having my son, he's only 4 months old. But as he gets older, I want to be around him more and more. Well, like I said, here in a couple of years, I would like to be home on the weekends more. Well, I needed to find a position to where I can still make really great money, but also be home on the weekends and spend that time and be in my kid's life more often. Well, guess what? At Crete Carrier, they have dedicated lanes, and they actually have a dedicated lane running from Dallas to California and back. And that loop, it's called the Texas-California loop, right? And basically, on the Texas-California loop, you pick up in Texas, or you pick up in Oklahoma or Arkansas, and you deliver to New Mexico, Arizona, or California, and you come back. You just go there and back, and that's basically your dedicated lane, and you get a reset on the weekends. Well, whenever I'm ready to stop doing OTR and be home more frequently, I'm going to switch over to that lane because I have family that lives in Dallas, and if my wife and I decide to move to Arizona, well, guess what? I can go visit all my family no matter what and still be off on the weekends to spend time with my kids. So those are all like the main reasons why I chose to go to Crete. And I will be giving like a review of Crete, but I'm not going to give that review until I've worked here for at least like a month or 2 months. I'll share with you like my day-to-day videos that y'all are used to me dropping videos 3 times a week, right? Kind of just giving you an update of what's going on. But I'm not going to give you a thorough review and tell you whether or not I think this is a good company to work for until I have worked here for long enough. The reason I started talking about Millis, I'm just going to be very clear, is because I had worked there for 3.5 years. I know for a fact that they were a great company because I had no issues with them at all. Not one issue. And it was great for me. That's why I shared and promoted Millis. Well, with Crete, I'm not going to promote them until I know for a fact that this is a good, honest company. That's just the way it is. I will share with you the kind of weeks I'm having and all that. I'm going to do that, but let me be clear. Like I said, I'm not going to promote them and say, hey, come over here, this is a great company, blah, blah, blah. I don't know yet. I haven't done it long enough. And for everybody that's in trucking watching this video, y'all know that it takes time to figure out whether a company is good or not. It really does. So that's the bottom line. And yeah, I'm going to be making more videos this week, so make sure you stay tuned for all of those videos that I'm going to be dropping. And yeah, so long story short, that's it for this video. I appreciate you for watching, and make sure you stay tuned for the next one that I'm going to be watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out my Instagram, and God bless. Peace out.